Oop, that's how I made these. Hey there, everybody. Welcome to my live stream. I'll wait for people to come on in here. Make sure it's going through. Alright, so I'm going to do what I said I was going to do, or figured out last time, and write down the hello Raimundo Q. Write down the times, so I think I should start at 11, so that'll be good. That was fast. Yeah, Silence Plane, I was ready to go. I was waiting for Bob to end his stream, and I clicked connect on my phone here, and it was ready to go. Hey there, Pedro Gonzalo. Thank you for stopping by again. But I know, Kevin. I was wondering who was gonna be the first one to notice that. Um, so here's the truth. I left the background at school today. Dun dun dun. That's a pretty common thing for me to do. Leave stuff either at school or leave stuff at home. When I'm ever trying to take stuff into my classroom for my fish stuff, I usually leave it at home because I'm rushed in the morning, as what kind of happens with having a toddler. So I do that whenever I try to bring stuff home. I usually forget, or I'm like do it finally at the end of the week, and I'm like weighted down with armfuls of stuff. I should get like, I don't know. I do a lot of reminders and stuff. And Glorious Bettas, yeah, it's got to be a teacher thing. I think it's why I see a lot of my coworkers with those big rolly carts, basically a box on wheels at work. So I'm sorry I don't have an interesting background. I did turn the camera angle a little bit more this time. Sticklets5, thank you for stopping by. I hope that I gave you some information that's a little bit helpful. Welcome Seth Cruz from Seth's Aquariums. I keep running water through my computer and my water changer. Sorry, gotta tell this not listening right now. She gotta stay on the couch. So, one of the students has Corey's laying eggs. That's really cool. Minimum temperature for mosquito fish, I would say, because they're a native fish. They live in this area. I live in Virginia. It does get down below freezing in the wintertime, but at that time they go below the ice. So they don't actually freeze. They stay just above freezing, but at that point their metabolism slows down so much that they don't really eat. They're kind of like koi. So minimum temperature, I would safely say in the 50s. I would cautiously say in the 40s. Would that be really pushing it? Don't quote me on that at all. That's not at all. Hey there, Rob Hicks Aquariums. Welcome to the stream. Lumpy Dog, is he in here yet? Lumpy Dog, are you here yet? Hey, Amelia, yeah, I left the paper at the background screen at school. Lumpy Dog, are you here? Yeah, you are here. There's a killer clown. Don't even joke about that. Don't even joke about that. Oh my gosh. Oh, that will that's 27. Is that no 32 is my record? I think. I don't know, but I think. Oh my gosh. Don't. That's probably something there. I'm not afraid of clowns, but the first movie that scared me when I was 8 and I stayed up too late watching HBO was Stephen King's It. And that was definitely concerning. And also, because of that, a pretty common reoccurring bad dream that I had as a kid was someone coming up. I'm not even going to tell you on here. I'm not even going to say it because then someone's going to do it and I'm going to probably pee my pants. So let's just go to what Lumpy Dog suggested. or talked about, which was guppies. So I had a pretty active day today with guppies. Um, so make sure that after you watch this, you go check out my newest video. I'll put a link to it here. I think that's where it shows up. Right here is where it'll show up. I think it's what I figured, left side. Um, with my fancy guppy, female guppy that I just got this weekend, you really need to go see her. Hey Flynn, welcome to the live stream here. But definitely go check out my newest fancy female guppy. She has this really cool anal fin that I've never seen in a pet store in my experience. I've never seen it in a fancy guppy. I definitely geeked out when I got her on Saturday. It was so awesome. I also got a jade head guppy. That one's not really as exciting. It just kind of looks cool with my daughter's fish tank with her light on it, glowfish light on it. That was definitely, but that female though was awesome. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Seth Cruz, for it's definitely a awesome female. My male that I got a few weeks ago, and I, I'll put a link to that video right here. That's the one that Sashimi Whiskey said that he was gonna bang his head up against the keyboard because he's rocking out to that male so much, and basically the it's a Dumbo ear. Best way I would describe it, like a mosaic guppy is what I would say. Pedro says, I'm still new to your channel. Seems like you're a teacher. Yes, I am a teacher. I'm a middle school science teacher. I teach 6th grade science, which is general science, 7th grade life science this year. And I am also a environmental science teacher, so I try and teach my students through leading by example, to repurpose as many things as possible, which is what really ties in well with the fish hobby here recently with DIY as much as possible. I love it. DIY stuff. I have repurposed water bottles. I have videos on that. I repurpose, I'll reuse fish tanks, I'll reuse glass. I tried to reuse glass, but don't do this out of a window. It didn't work, it busted, so don't do that. I would love to start to line breeding or start to breed my own strain of guppies, Petro, but I'm just beginning that right now. Raimundo says Guppy Train has breeds female guppies that look like that, but they're blue. Yeah, Guppy Train has some pretty awesome. I mean, oh, I want those female guppies that Corey has in that video so much. Chicken Serpent, how many guppies do I have? Over 70 if you count all the fry. Amelia, one word I could use to describe the background, I'll say awesome, because the people that made the background are definitely awesome too. So I will say that. That's what I would say. Yeah, too many to count. I counted the the guppy fry as they were born in each batch, and it's about each batch. The first batch I had one, that was easy to count. I can count that many. My daughter can even count that high. Then the next batch I had was like 7. Then I had a batch of like 25, and then 32, and then I had a batch of like 40 something or other. Chicken Serpent, congratulations. But so I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around 70 or so, plus the wild caught guppies. And that video is my closest thing to being a viral video recently. I've met like 1,300 views. I'm pretty excited about that. That's pretty awesome. I just gotta figure that out, how to make that lightning happen again and again. So thank you, Patriots. I'm glad to, I really do appreciate the appreciation, I guess is what I'm looking for. Um, yeah, Amelia, it's counting all those fish comes from experience of counting kids. To be honest, when I used to work in a daycare, I worked at a daycare for 7 years, and I was constantly counting kids to make sure that they were all there, that they hadn't escaped, they hadn't run off, they hadn't jumped the fence, they hadn't left the field trip, and make sure I had enough kids in the van. And then being in school, whenever I go take my students to the pond at our school, I have to count pretty frequently to make sure that um, all the kids that I left with are coming back. Um, so chicken serpent, I will not do a house tour. I will film in different locations of my house, possibly like my driveway, and this is in like the extra room, sunroom, Florida room, whatever you want to call it. Um, and I will film my front porch, but I pretty much keep it to those locations for the most part. I just like to keep my personal life to an extent separate from my YouTube life, and even from my teaching life as well. Um, uh, my filming setup is I am streaming from my phone, which is on a tripod that I bought years ago, which is um, I'm using a smartphone attachment connector thing, whatever you want to call it. I'll put a link uh, below to this smartphone thing that I use, and then I just check the chat on my laptop here on my Google Chromebook. I'll put a link below to that as well. But that's great for keeping up with the chat. That way, last night on Inglorious Betta's live stream, she was kind of frustrated with how quickly the chat was going. She'd only see one or two chats at a time, and then they would disappear like poof. And so yeah, I really like using this way. That's why I'm looking off to the side, because I'm reading chat, so I don't think I'm being rude. Lumpy Dog, I've definitely gone Guppy mad as well. I've turned over pretty much all my tanks, plus a bunch of 5-gallon buckets, and rope totes in my driveway are all going to guppies. Actually, I do have one small container that is being used right now for celestial pearl danios. I'm trying to get those to be raised in the wild so that they can be eating the food, the natural wild food, and that would be would I build a great question, King Matt. Would I build a pond if I could? Yes, but the problem is I have a chocolate lab who is not, he's right over there, not in here right now. And he likes to go swimming in his water bucket. As soon as I fill up his water bucket, he will dip his whole head, face, front paws in his water bucket. So there is no having a pond while I have a lab. I have Dead Voice says I have never been to Guppies, but you guys getting to me, I found myself checking them out in a local fish store and other places. I know, Dead Boy, when I go to a local fish store, I check out pretty much the fishes that everyone talks about, which I think is I think it's going to kind of run the market. I've been checking out jewel cichlids based on Chaz's fish channel, what he recommends. I've been looking for Apistogramma cockatoides, or the cockatoo Apistogramma, because everybody's talking about them and they are pretty. They are a nice dwarf cichlid I would love to keep. They're definitely on my list. I have always, ever since I first read about them in Tropical Fish Hobbyist, I've always wanted, I've always wanted German blue rams. I have had them before. I've never been able to successfully breed them. I have bred angelfish before, but the fry did not grow up successfully. I was not as good with that. I did find a fish that I can possibly claim as my own in the fish fam, but I'm going to keep that one hush hush. For right now, it's really awesome, but I'm going to need a bigger tank first. We're going to need a bigger tank. What else have I been looking for based on what people have been talking about so much? Chaz Fish Channel, definitely huge inspiration to me. Has got me looking at paradise fish as well. Who was it? I forget who it was. Someone, I'll have to go back and look at my comments, made a recommendation to me about Celestial Pearl Danios. So as soon as those were in my local fish store, I got a bunch. Rurutu asked, do I trade in guppies in my local fish store for store credit? Not yet. I'm working on building up a relationship with them. I don't want to just go in there and be like, hey, let me just sell you a bunch of my stuff. So I'm trying to build up to that. Also, they said they want to see what I have first. So I obviously have to produce pretty good quality fish, so that I obviously have to do that so that I can have good quality stuff to sell to them for store credit. I really want to. My plan is to give them a really awesome deal. So that, I mean, I'm not looking to. I'm just looking to basically get enough to be able to get more fish to breed, to then just get more fish to breed. Kind of a really never-ending cycle. That's why it's an addiction, I think. It's a really cool one, though. I like it. Eamon's Aquariums asks, do I have a favorite guppy? My favorite guppy is definitely those female guppies that Corey at Aquarium Co-op has from Guppy Train. And they are, oh, they're beautiful. That's my dream guppy right there. I would love to have that guppy, right? I just have to get it over here on the East Coast is the problem. Nothing better than watch mud guppies male color up. You never were gonna get. I know, it's like a box of chocolates. Almost perfect black bar inler from a recent. Yeah, that's pretty crazy to get that. But life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. It's the same thing with breeding breeding guppies. You never know what you're going to get until a few months later. If they finally color up, and bam, you see what you get. Yeah, amen. That's what I'm afraid is going to be a difficult thing to do. So sit on the couch or you're going to bed. Sorry, got a toddler. 33, that's definitely a new record, so that's awesome. I'm really excited about that. Amelia says, is it just me, or when you go to PetSmart to get a fish and I have to pick out the one that is being the most uncooperative, I make the poor worker try to catch the one that's trying to get away? That's why, for the most part, I just say, hey, I want to get this type of fish right here. And I also avoid PetSmart as well when it comes to getting actual fish stuff. I prefer to go to a local fish store, which I'll be talking about that later. I would like to make a video about my local fish store here. I would love to do a 35. Woo! I would love to do a video, a tour of them. But I would like to work up to that point. Maybe see if I can get you know, obviously a self-guided tour, make a video of that and everything like that. King Matt, a very good question once again. You got some great questions, King Matt. Can mud guppies go well with original guppies? Yes. They can. It's just if you're trying to breed for a certain strain, then you don't want to mix them together. Vinny, I'm a Newfoundland and a Labrador, so you have a native dog. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I love the history and the story of the Labs. They were bred from Newfoundlands in Newfoundland, and just really cool that I love the selective breeding of it. Chicken Serpent. I just downloaded the game Balls yesterday, and I played it a little bit. I've also been playing Cats a little bit, but I don't know, I can't really fully figure that one out all the way. I was playing Fallout Shelter, but that one, I got really tired of all the dead claws in that one. So, people can name whatever guppies you want to, because I honestly don't stick to the name. So if viewers out there want to name my guppies, go for it. First person to comment in any of my videos about a specific guppy gets to name that guppy. That's the way it goes. At least until I post a video changing that rule. So for now, if you want to go out there and name a guppy, then go comment on a video and say the yellow one with the black spots and the crooked eye, whatever. Then, which I don't have one of those, but I do have yellow ones. But you can name it whatever you want to. I do have a student that named one Hank. No, he named it Hank Jr. actually. No, he named it Hank and Hank Jr. I wonder if it's named for Hank Williams. I doubt it. I doubt that he even knows who Hank Williams is. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm getting... There's the most beautiful guppies I've ever seen that Corey has. Yeah, those are... Oh, those... I will drool over those guppies. Don't get me going on those guppies. I'll talk like crazy. Chicken Servant, thank you for catching my new record, 36. I'm not watching it all the time. I'd rather keep up with the chat. Niece, yeah, I hope your husband is well fed and everything now. Amelia, it's not really the way that PetSmart keeps their fish, although if you have it all on a centralized system like what they do for the filtration, that can spread the diseases really easily. So if a fish comes in stressed with alright, so Amelia apparently already commented on the video. She already named a fish, so that one's already taken, whichever one she did name on one of my videos. It's mostly the fact that most of the time local fish store employees know more about fish than PetSmart employees. There have been a few PetSmart employees that I have talked to. One of them I went to high school with. One of them I went to high school with his sister. One of them, actually the one that's 15 minutes from me, not the one that's 5 minutes from me, I think has a much better setup as far as fish, but I would much rather support my local fish store for so many reasons. Support local businesses. I just like local fish stores so much. They have a lot better selection in my local fish store. So much more selection. It changes all the time too. You can pretty much ask them, hey, whenever you get this fish in, can you please give me a call? I love doing that. Flynn says, yeah, I went to PetSmart for a guppy today, really rare occasion, but I needed a female guppy. Yeah, female guppy, you know, they're pretty much all the same except for those ones that Corey has from Guppy Train. Asked for a specific one, and that lady said, it's hard to get a certain one because I'm scooping. Oh my gosh, come on. If you're not going to put the time into getting a specific one for a customer, then you need to go work in the dog food section, okay? Because that's just, come on, like that's your job. That's like me not answering a kid's question. I may not let every student tell their story that they want to, but I answer every kid's question. Me personally, I don't think there is anything wrong with the way they keep them. I just don't think the workers give the proper advice. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, they have a pretty strong business model. I mean, I can't argue that too much. If there is, you can special order from them and they'll ship it to your door. Yeah, I forgot about that. Hey, Nerdy Fish, I don't think I've seen you in a while, have I? Thanks. Let me make sure. I think I'm actually behind on the chat, which is a first. That's a good problem to have, I guess. Yeah, Nishi's not here. She's lurking. She's lurking in the shadow. She's like Darkwing Duck. Sherman Johnson, all the Guppy stuff recently has got me. I know. Welcome to the Guppy group. The Guppy guys. I don't know. Guppy group probably works the best. Your name. Every Sunday is kind of happy. Where's the fishy background? I left it at school because that's what I do all the time. It's like I knew I was going to do that, and sure enough I did it. Welcome, Mama Bear. Welcome to your first time to the stream. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please just pop them out there. Eventually I'll get to them. I'm behind on the chat, but I'm trying to catch up right now. Named it Pickles. It's a good name for a fish. Are guppies better with more light or less light? Because I'm getting these guppies in 2 months. I'm trying to stop taking stuff. As long as they have places to get away from the light, like plants, then they're fine with it. Basically, I do the lighting based on if I have plants, then I have the lighting that's best for the plants. If I don't have plants, then you don't even really need a light oven just so you can see them yourself. So Raimundo just named a He named that one Sailor Moon. That's a pretty good one. Um, uh, I can't pronounce those European names. Bjorn, I think. Just named a fish. All these naming out there. Look at that. Naming fish. Go for it. I'm probably not going to remember the names of fish. So, but if you claimed it, there you go. It's yours. Yeah, go local whenever you can. Uh, let's see here. My phone has been broken. Split T only works. Oh yeah, Nerdy Fish, I've been missing seeing you around, so I'm glad to see you back. I have a guppy fry tank and it's so cool to see this. I know, I love that. That's one of my favorite parts about having guppy fries, watching them eat, and it's so much life and activities. It's like we have all this room for activities now. If you don't know the reference, then good thing. Your life is probably pretty good. Emil, you can name whatever fish, like I said. I would like to keep it at one per person just so that everybody gets a chance to name a fish. Although, once the guppies start coloring up, that's going to be a lot of people naming, so don't worry. Yes, hug all your fish tanks. My guppies turn from red to green. Roughly, are they covered in algae? Or you're feeding them different? Or maybe it could be because they were being fed on like a color enhancing food at the pet store, and um, they could be on regular food now, so there might be the more natural colors showing through. Yes, Lumpy, that's a great idea. There's $100 fee for naming fish. I wish. If I even charged $1 for every time someone tried to name a fish, um, I would have $5. Mama Bear, sure, go for it. Like I said, just go watch one of my videos of any of my fish after this live stream, of course, and pick a fish, claim it, describe it as best you can, and give it a name, and that one stuck. So I think that's the way that we'll go. Step Brothers, yes, that's what it is. Ames Aquariums, yeah, I've been watching on my Xbox. I can see but can't talk. That stinks. Oh no, that's Anakin. That's just horrible. Um, that's me angry. I'm so tired of this stuff. I'm so tired of. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go there because I'll just go off on like hours of a tangent of anger of people that do that kind of stuff. Um, Used to watch on the Xbox all the time. Just hated not being able to chat. Yeah, that'd be pretty frustrating. Um, Mama Bear, you can name it anything as long as it is appropriate. Is my only rule is keep it appropriate. Is my only rule, and if you're the first one to do it, name it, and it's appropriate. There you go. I did see what you commented, Amelia. As it comes up as a notification on my phone, so I do see that. Yeah, definitely praise for the children. It's definitely a great idea, VSTAG. That's trying to be positive and pray for them. Um, yeah, I just keep that positive, and I'll keep my opinions to myself, and don't want to give in and don't want to do that kind of stuff. Billy Bob Joe is a great name, Mama Bear. Um, Sorry. Hey there, Davis Fish Tanks. Welcome to the stream. So, making sure everything's alright with, yeah, daughter's alright. This is what we're talking about, guppies, yeah. I would like to breed my own strain and see if I can do that. Just practice some selective breeding and see if I can get, especially that trait in that newest female that I got with that fin that she has. I really want to see if I can breed that out and I mean, because that's not a fin that's going to really slow down the fish. King Matt, once again, amazing question. King Matt, king of the questions. My friend said that the amount of plants for guppies is a third of the tank. What do you prefer? I think that a third of the tank is a pretty good rule to follow. But I mean, eventually your plants are going to become overrun. So just make sure that they stay trimmed, and it'll be good. Nerdy Fish on Brighter, I set up 4 10-gallons today for some shrimp and some live bears. Awesome. Nerdy Fish, please get videos of that, especially the live bears. I'm kind of partial to live bears. Mama Bear, yeah, just go on the video and then make a comment below on the video and then say this fish with the purple eyes or whatever is going to be named Billy Bob, you know, whatever, Timmy and Kimmy. Best name for a fish is sushi. That's my favorite way of eating fish, honestly. Or actually, I like the weird fish, the mollusks, actually, the weirdest ones, the shellfish, the octopus, the water stewart. Yes, water stewart grows great. I have Java fern that's growing growing pretty well, actually. I have Java fern, Java moss is growing slowly. I have water wisteria that's growing more slowly than what I've had in the past. I just got some guppy grass, and it's not really doing really well. Finally got some subwassertang for my first time. We'll see how that does. I think I got some dwarf water lettuce for my outdoor tubs. See how that does. So things about all the plants that I have. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting one or two. Yeah, that's about it. I just have the basic low light, low tech plant. I was actually talking to my 7th grade class today about different types of aquatic plants, the low tech kind, because I was talking to them about talking to my students about photosynthesis today and carbon dioxide and then cellular respiration, and how at nighttime plants don't use carbon dioxide, they produce it. Amelia, how about this? As soon as I post a video of the fish of the beta fish that we're training, if you're the first one to get on there and name it, then you get to name it. I think that's a pretty fair way to go. That's sticking with my rules. What was I saying? I was talking to them about the Mama, thank you for stopping by. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I have to work in the morning too. It does really stink. Angelo, thank you for stopping by also. Have a good night. I'm still sticking by for another few minutes at least. I was thinking about an hour, but it might be shorter than that. Who knows? But anyways, cellular respiration at nighttime, when plants go through cellular respiration, they don't use carbon dioxide, they just produce carbon dioxide. So therefore, if you're injecting carbon dioxide, then it's going to be a little more CO2 than what the tank needs at that time, which would be more CO2 for the fish, which they obviously don't need because they breathe oxygen in the water, the dissolved oxygen, which could possibly cause a problem if there's too much carbon dioxide, which also could lower the pH, which is a problem you run into with, especially with some more sensitive fish like German blue rams or Microgeophagus ramirezi. Real or fake plants, I have a mixture. King Matt, I'm always a big fan of real plants. I like, they have a purpose. They produce oxygen, they keep the water cleaner, they give hiding places. The fake plants just grow algae and just take up space, and just they're a good cover for baby fish, but they are I don't like them. I have them in my daughter's 10-gallon. Have a good night, Amelia. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you, Angela, for stopping by. I do have plastic plants in my daughter's 10-gallon tank, but I also have glowfish in there too, which I don't really like having either. Although I have noticed that I started off with 6 glowfish and I now only have 3. I did not do anything to them. I think honestly they jumped out of the back of the tank, is what I think happened, and I'm not very sad that I have less than what I started off with. And 'cause I just don't like glowfish. I don't like the fact that they're a genetically modified animal, and I don't like the fact that they have a trademark on them. I think it's messed up that an animal has a trademark to the point that you legally cannot sell them. I'm sorry, but if I breed a fish, if I go through all the time and money to breed a fish, I think I should be able to sell it. So that's why I don't keep them. I will not breed them, and I will not try to breed them because I think that is just messed up. So glowfish are just a huge marketing thing. Obviously, they're doing very successfully. My daughter loves them. It's her favorite fish. She wants the pink ones all the time. She wants everything pink. She has started to like my guppies, so I think that might be a good sign that she's going more towards the guppies instead of just the glowfish. She really likes the fancy male that I got a few weeks ago, the double-eared mosaic male. She likes him a lot. She thinks he's pretty. Of course, he is pretty. She thinks he's a baby fish because he's smaller. So, but she does like him. It's probably her favorite fish out of all of my fish. And then she's actually kind of like her glowfish, her pink glowfish, even have kind of taken a back seat. Yeah, I'm not very sad about it, Eamon. I just don't like glowfish on so many levels. On so many levels. I think I mentioned all the levels here, but yeah, I just really don't. I don't like them. I don't. Glow guppies would be pretty cool. Sunless plane, the male that I just got, does kind of have a really cool iridescence under certain lighting. So that's a pot. I'm not gonna make obviously glow like that, but I mean glowfish don't really glow. They light up under blue lighting. So this guppy that I got lights up. Not really lights up, but he has a pretty cool glow. It's actually under white light. He actually has like this white and this blue shimmer to him. I used to have a GFP. Is that one of those? Is that one of those dyed, like colored dyed axolotls? I think I saw them. They call them what, tutti fruities or whatever. I'm sorry, dyeing fish like DYING, coloring them. I think that's messed up. Back over 10 years ago, I saw that people were tattooing fish, and that's super messed up. King Matt says, I have heard that people are trying to make glowfish bigger in size and population, so they put them in local ponds. Yeah, that is definitely messed up. Don't ever release your fish in the wild. In fact, if you check out my video right here, right there is my video, to my link to my local wild caught guppies that I got because someone decided to dump their guppy culls, I think, and which it was nice because it was free for me. All I had to do was just take some nets and some buckets and go collect them. And now I have some free starting colony of guppies, which only 1 or 2 of them have traits that I really want as far as the males go, and the females, well, they're great to produce fry. They do have some pretty nice traits as well. A few of them are kind of nice looking. Some of them kind of look red, white, and blue almost. I'm gonna see what I can do with that there. So yeah, don't release your fish into the wild. It's messed up. I have a guppy that has a blue spot on his head that comes and goes throughout the day. That's a pretty interesting thing. I would be interested in seeing that. I can get wild guppies year round because I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm pretty jealous of that. They're from Trinidad also in South America. But these guppies that I got are not actually truly wild caught. They were released, and then they were released into the wild, and then I went and collected them from somewhere. A student actually told me and was like, hey, go check out this area over here. I saw a bunch of guppies. And I was like, no way, it's a bunch of guppies. It's probably killifish. He's like, no, I'm pretty sure it's guppies. And sure enough, I went out there, and or he actually brought about 10 of them in, and he was like, he was right. They were guppies. So I went out later on that week and went to go collect them, and where he got them from was a larger pond area, and so he just went out with a net, and it was a lot easier. But when I went out there, it was they had drained the pond, and um, and so it was a lot more difficult to get to the guppies. So on this plan, I just put my email in the chat. If you want to send me the pictures of the guppy, that'll work. Aquatic House, welcome. Nice to see you on here. Priscilla, nice to see you on here. Marutu, I'm in Virginia, just north of Richmond, Virginia. It's where I was grown up. Actually, I grew up in a house a mile and a half from where I live now. I teach at the middle school I went to. Thank you, Tawny. Good to see you on here. Tawny, with all the questions you answer in Aquarium Co-op's live streams, you have definitely earned the mod wrench. So there you go. GFP is in diet. It's a natural protein that occurs in axolotls where they glow under a black light, but the light stresses them out, so I find it redundant. Yeah, that's not cool to stress them out. Hey, Pickled Placostomus, I was talking to my students about your name. I think I said it last week, I forget. Tawny, Lumpy Dog, you definitely earn the wrench too. I think a lot of people, I have more mods than what I need, but I consider it like a compliment. Hey, you're doing a good job. You have lots of, Inglorious Betters just posted a new video. By saying, hey, good job, you have lots of good lots of good content, you answered some good questions. I think it's like, hey, great job, you're part of the fish fam. And even if I don't make you a mod, don't take it as, oh, hey, he doesn't think I'm, no, it's just, I don't think I need 37 mods in a room full of, 31 people. So, David, welcome, we are on deck. Nice to see you in one of my streams, welcome. Great to see you on here. I think this is your probably not the first time, but first time in a while. I think last time you were on was on my reselling fish tanks live stream. So welcome. Hope everything is going well on your end. Think everything's going well in Florida. I was talking about Florida to my students today. I think. Let's see, what was I saying? I was saying that. Yeah, that was Inglorious Betters. That was a pretty instant. Just came up on my phone, got a notification because I hit the notification button. So everyone, make sure that if you're watching this at this point, go. If you're watching it, you've been watching my live stream for 43 minutes now. If you're watching this recording, go ahead and click the notification bell below this. I think it's over on this side of the video, or it's on this side of the video, whichever side it is. But click that bell and get notified whenever I post the video, so you can stay updated with whenever that crazy looking female produces fry. Priscilla, yeah, that's pretty funny. I really do take it as a huge compliment whenever someone makes me a mod. There are a few times that I do see people in other streams. I'm like, mod, get this person, and they get them. They do a great job. Definitely doing a great job. So, yeah, Pedro, that female just has an awesome fin. Rurutu, it is kind of with all the sinkholes and stuff that were going on. And Glorious Betas hashtag notification squad. True. Have any good tips for getting better fish photos with an iPhone? I've been trying that as well. I've been looking into getting the macro lenses attachments you can put on the iPhones. I wonder how those do. I'm not really sure. I also yeah, King Matt. I don't know what you mean by clean your tank, but if you mean water changes, you should do water changes like once a week. Is a good thing to stick to. But clean your tank, I mean that I don't know how what you mean by clean, but um, better fish photos. I was at the pond last week with my environmental science class, and there was a great blue heron in the distance a little bit, and then a pair of ducks, and then and the pair of ducks was around, and then there was a beaver actually. And it's been really cool to have one of those zoom lenses that I see that you can attach to an iPhone. It'd be pretty cool to have one of those. At the same time, a macro lens would be nice to have for the fish tank shots, to get some nice clear shots up close, as long as my water spots are not on the tank and I keep it clean. That's definitely nice. So yeah, King Matt, I like to do water changes about 3 to 5 times a week. I do 3 to 5 very small, like an inch off the top, water changes. But once I get more tanks, it'll probably be cut back to once a week, I'm sure, because just be crazy. It'll just be crazy with water change. It'll just take over my life, and then eventually I might get to a point where I have auto water change would be it's like a huge lofty goal. Yeah, so some of this plan, I just got the email, so I'll check it out after the live stream. You can take a video of your fish and yeah, Josh, that's a good idea. My videos that I get, at least when I see them on my computer, aren't really always very clear, but they're probably much clearer if I take them from my phone. So yeah, Tony says I probably just think, but I can't get nice shots of the macro on my iPhone. Yeah, it's probably because a lot of times the fish are just moving so fast. And Josh, you are right, that is what Amanda from Flip Aquatics does. She takes the video, then she takes a still shot. I think that's what she said one time in a video. Maybe it was in a live stream. I think she said that she just takes the video and takes a still shot of them. So yeah, my GoPro gets cool shots of the fish from into the tank, but the lens is a very wide angle. Yeah, I do have a waterproof camera. Do I have it around here? I think it's in my backpack probably. I do have a waterproof camera, but it's just so much easier to film from my phone that I don't get out the waterproof camera very often. It's because you have to charge the battery and deal with the memory card and all this stuff. You got to get the whole setup right with the flash and get the magnesium stuff going. And I'm making a joke about old school cameras. David, thank you for getting me back on topic here. How's the tanks, bro? Tanks are doing well. Thanks for asking. Lame joke. But my tanks in my classroom are doing really well. I really am not having good luck with snails. I think my water is too soft, is the problem. Hey Mark, thanks for stopping by. But yeah, I feel like I can't keep snails is my problem. And what else is going on? My 20-gallon long, my tank that I got from a student and his family is super awesome. That tank is so lively. I love having the back of the classroom so that when I'm teaching and I sometimes will get really quiet. Sometimes, believe it or not, I do get quiet for like 10 seconds sometimes. That's a good tip, Pedro, for soft water use. Crushed egg cells. Oh my gosh, good questions. King Matt, what edit app do I use to edit my videos? I honestly use the YouTube create and then video editor and then editor video, just regular science, the regular YouTube video editor thing is what I use, because all I have is a Chromebook right now, and all I have is the Chromebook, and you can't download a lot of software on there, so that's what I use, is what YouTube has. Maybe eventually when I get an actual laptop, I might actually be able to download some software, like having a green screen behind me. That would be one step to making these live streams better. But I don't think it's about the fancy background. I think it's about content and information and great viewers like you. I feel like PBS right now. But I'm good with David. Phone's been out of commission. Still doesn't work right. Kind of let me chat. That's kind of frustrating. Nerdy Fish. Lummy Dog says buy a cuddle bone from the pet store and put some pieces in the tank for calcium. That's a pretty. I think I've heard about that before. But yeah, I put Tums in the tank for my snails. That I definitely have plenty of Tums. I might be taking one here pretty soon actually. Tums my tank about once a week. It does make sense that it is calcium. Yeah, iced tea and smartphones don't go well together, Nerdy Fish. Hey there, Sergeant. So what was I doing earlier today? I think I saw your live stream, but I couldn't get on because I was at school, so I couldn't really get on your live stream. But I did see that you were up. I got a notification on my phone. What was I gonna say here? Back to David's question. How my tank's doing? Classroom tanks. I recently moved my my Plocket Beta, however you pronounce it, into one of those plastic tanks, the critter cages or whatever. Moved him to that tank so he can be trained a little bit easier, and he has a filter and a heater now. And then let's see here, most of my guppies are now in the tubs. In my driveway right now, the 17-gallon rope handle tubs and 5-gallon buckets. They're there. Aquatic house, I know that nearite snails, that they can actually have eggs in fresh water, but then at some point in their life cycle, I don't know when it is, they actually do require some salts that would be brackish possibly. That's a pretty smart thing to do. Lumpy Dog is the shrimp and dwarf crayfish tanks. Helps for molting. The new guppies are doing great. I just saw them. Mark's art. They're doing great. I just saw them. They are swimming around. I think I saw the male trying to breed with that fancy fin female. So I think she might already be gravid though, is what I'm pretty sure I was seeing as well. So, but yeah, those guppies are doing great. My fancy male that I posted 2 weeks ago probably. Yeah. Bye, King Matt. Have a good night. Thank you for all the questions. Please feel free to stop by. Every time I was live stream, I love your questions. Comment on my videos, any questions you have. I love answering questions. It's part of the teacher in me. I love answering questions. One of my favorite things to hear from my friends is I have a question. I get really excited. I'm like, but yeah, I love answering questions. Whenever my students have a question, that's my job. It's my favorite part of the job, is answering questions. As long as they're serious questions, appropriate questions, and that questions aren't meant to get me off topic. Although, whenever students think I'm off topic, it always relates to being on topic, which is the great thing about science, is that I can relate so much stuff back together. I love talking about my fish nerd friends to my students, because it usually ties in, especially in life science, it ties in really well. Doesn't tie in as well in general science very much, although right now I'm teaching about energy and converting of chemical energy in food into mechanical energy is pretty cool, and maybe talking about, I don't know, chemical energy from burning coal, which creates thermal energy, which then heats the water, which then turns turbines, which is mechanical energy, which then goes past a generator, which then creates electrical energy, which then goes to your fish tank outlet or whatever, which then goes to the fish tank. The filter, let's just say, turns a motor, which produces, once again, goes back down to mechanical energy, which then filters the fish tank, which can then help the fish to go through chemical energy. So there we go. David, the last time I was in the fish hobby, which back before I had my daughter, back before I was married, did life ever exist before then? I I I did consider keeping monster fish. The monster fish I wanted to keep. Let's see, what were the monster fish I wanted? Um, Monster fish I wanted to keep. What were the ones I wanted to keep? That's a good question, David. That one really, gosh, David with the good questions tonight. David on deck with the questions tonight. Um, my dream fish, although they're not legal here, is piranhas. I would love. I know that's really boring, whatever in real life, but just to watch them eat every once in a while. Just I love watching. That's the best part about having fish is watching them eat, watching them feed. Let's see what else. Oh, it's been so long. I don't really even remember that fish life. One of my favorite ones was my favorite one that I used to keep was a electric catfish. That was a pretty cool fish. Um, Eamon, I never knew about dove eyes until a few months ago, to be honest. I think I knew them back then as wolf cichlids, so that might be what it is. But what I did want, David, I do remember this. This is definitely what I wanted, no question. I wanted freshwater stingrays and an arowana in the top. That was like my dream tank. Probably 10, 12 years ago was was definitely freshwater stingrays, and next school I would love to donate something to your classroom. Um, so I didn't think that would be great. I definitely appreciate that. Definitely don't have to do that, but I'm definitely trying to figure out something. Um, um, I mean, if you want to send me, I mean, one of your stickers would be nice. I mean, that would be good to talk to about my students about. That's I can do that even right now. But let's see here. My beta's tail's getting ragged. What can I do? I'm not really the expert on fish disease because they don't really have them. My fish don't get diseases very often. As I said, when I just had a guppy die a month or two ago. But my biggest thing I always do whenever fish disease happens is water changes and oh, fish. Oh, I don't even know because yeah, I've got to talk about that in a later stream. But I was saying, oh, water changes increase the temperature a little bit, which that helps with ick. I'm not sure about if it helps with fins. Um, is the Who did I ask that? Mark, is the fish in is the beta in with other fish? Because that would be my best guess as far as fin nipping would be causing the tail to be ragged. Um, so Sergeant, I think I just read that that it's no longer legal to keep crayfish in Virginia is what I read. It makes me really sad because I used to have the electric blue catfish, but I don't get it um, because I saw them recently. Salt will help with fen rot. Thank you, Rurutu. How do I treat ick without killing my plants? I know plants don't like salt or they die from ick tabs. David, I've been hearing a lot of people say, and I've never had to deal with ick. Knock on wood. This is a pretty cool desk. It's made of wood, actually. Honest, full wood, like solid wood. Anyways, back on topic. I've heard people, a lot of people, so not even in my own opinion, just from what I've heard, just raising the temperature a little bit, supposedly help, would supposedly help with the ick. Oh, Mark's. I would try the salt. I guess a little bit of salt, very little bit, with in case it is fen rot to help with that. So, this is the 1 minute warning. So I'm just go ahead and close it up here. But I want to thank everybody for coming out to hang out with me on a Monday night. I set a new record of 36. I think was my record tonight. So thank you to all the people that stopped by in the beginning, the middle, and the end to stay the whole time. It's great. I really appreciate it. Thank you. If you're watching this on a recording, thank you for listening for this long. That's a full hour, which is, I think, cruel and unusual punishment, in my opinion. And if you've watched this long, you may as well click the notification button. Make sure you're subscribed. If you subscribe, you're automatically entered into my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, which at 1,000 subscribers, I will pick any of my first 1,000 subscribers, and they will be getting a PetSmart gift card. So for all that, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share. Not share the person, but share this stream, share my videos. That will increase your chances of winning the subscriber giveaway. And also, yeah, comment with any questions you have. Love answering questions. Once again, comment on a particular fish if you want to name it. If you just say, hey, I'm going to name the fish with the one-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater fish, and you want to name it Bob, we had a baby, it's a boy, then just make that comment. You claimed it, you called dibs on it, you got to name the fish. So we'll go ahead and do that and post that comment on there. If you dislike my videos because they're too long and boring, then give it a dislike and tell me in the comments. Your videos are way too long and boring. Your students must be horrible for your students to sit through all that talking and monotone voice with all that stuttering. Go for it. Make the comment. But make a comment. Let me know how can I fix these videos. Let me know what you want to see in future videos. Let me know what fish you think I should get or whatever. I'm not gonna get big ones. I have small tanks right now. I do have some 30 gallons waiting. I have a 55 gallon waiting to be resealed. I gotta find the time. There's the time, and it's time to go. So thank you for everybody for stopping by. Have a good night. Keep it fishy.